Hello, we're at Quaker House, Brussels, to talk about an issue today which doesn't get much attention, but it's important. That's the human rights situation in Libya, and particularly how it relates to European policy. Europe has been engaged in Libya for a very long time. Just within the last 100 years, Italy, France and Britain have all occupied parts of Libya. You'll probably know there's a violent conflict taking place there now, and you may remember the NATO airstrikes in 2011. It's been a place where people from sub-Saharan Africa have travelled for a long time for work, and it's getting particular attention here at the EU at the moment as a place where people stay before making the journey across the Mediterranean to seek sanctuary in Europe. So let's find out what's the human rights situation been like there in the last few years.
The human rights situation in Libya it couldn't be worse right now for refugees. Refugees who are coming to Libya as an end destination or to Libya as like the next step before they go to Europe are getting detained in detention centers. They're just picked up on the street or as soon as they even cross the border from the southern countries. And in these detention centers, they are facing horrible human rights abuses, beatings, electrocutions. They do not have access to health care or enough food or proper housing. They're not safe there at all. And these detention centers are very often located within war zones and in danger of being struck by bombs and things like that. So it basically couldn't be any worse. And even if people are managing to pay ransoms to leave these detention centers, they will be just picked up again, be it on the streets or if they are caught on the Mediterranean Sea and brought back into the same detention centers, and the same thing just starts over.
Yeah. And Quakers who have been supporting people across Europe have met people, and we here in Quaker House in Brussels have met people who have been victims of torture and detention in Libya, including very horrific things like having plastic melted onto their legs and backs and things as part of trying to extort money, but even just arbitrarily as well. It's really terrible. And how are European governments engaging with Libya now?
Well, on the one hand, European countries are saying that it is horrible what's happening there and that something needs to be done. On the other hand, they are contributing to the problem because they are paying the Libyan government and Libyan forces in general to keep migrants in the country and to hinder them from being able to cross the Mediterranean.
Yeah. So
they're basically fueling and paying exactly the people who are abusing people and holding them against the law. And at the same time, because of this, they are happy about that the numbers are going down, the numbers of people who are arriving in Europe. So they are quite satisfied with the outcome of they are experiencing. Well, they know, and we know this from leaked reports, they know that this money is contributing to the human rights violations that are happening in Libya. So it really is very much connected.
And what are organisations that represent the survivors of these violations, so refugee organisations and others, saying that Europe should be doing or should stop doing?
Well, most importantly, European countries have to stop to fuel this war with weapons, because right now European countries are supporting both sides of the conflict, which is just the most counterproductive thing that they could be doing. Instead, they should put all their energy into diplomatic efforts, because that's the only way to really establish peace. Secondly, the detention in Libya just has to end immediately, especially because many of these detention centers are located within war zones, so these people in there are just trapped in under horrible circumstances. These people need access to aid, they need access to healthcare, they just need to be brought to a place of safety. And related to that, it is very important that the people on the move who are right now trapped in Libya, they need to have access to legal ways of reaching European Union and to claim asylum in a legal, safe way. Because right now these people do not have access to these services and to these legal ways, and they are forced to cross the Mediterranean under great danger, as we all know.
Yeah.
And last but not least, right now many NGOs who are having naval assets and who are trying to save people at sea and to prevent them from having to go back into detention are criminalized, and they have to stop their missions. And it would be very helpful if European countries would instead support their efforts in saving lives instead of criminalizing them and hindering their work, because it's so important right now.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And for Quakers, alongside many others, we know that it's the responsibility of all citizens to engage in international affairs. If you'd like to find out more about the human rights situation in Libya, please see the links below. Thank you.